Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers, and it's time for a movie review. In fact, time for our audience choice movie review, Masters of the Universe from 1987. That's right, everybody. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani Bullard.
This is
Brooks.
And today we're going to do a retro movie review of Masters of the Universe, the 1987 classic from Canon Films. Because it was the audience choice award winner, whatever. They didn't win an award. It just won the poll. Anyway, so we did a poll on the PCP Army. We realized that February was going to be a little bit of a slow month for our movie reviews. We got a lot of more exciting new movie reviews coming up for March and April especially, and throughout the rest of the year, but February was kind of lacking with what we were deciding to do. So we decided that we would take a selection of some cheesy cornball films from our childhoods and throw them up in the PCP Army for people to vote on. Which movie do you want to see? It was Super Mario Brothers, it was Demolition Man, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Masters of the Universe. And Masters of the Universe overwhelmingly won, crushing the number 2, which was Mortal Kombat. But we will have more of these if you want to see them. But we're going to talk about Masters of the Universe. When I was a kid, like you guys, I loved Masters of the Universe. He-Man, the toy line.
That obscure little toy line.
That obscure little toy line.
Like
and cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
It just was, it was all over the place. It was a big deal. We loved it. And I remember as a kid being very, at first we're going to talk initial reactions. I remember being very confused by this movie as a kid. Loving Skeletor, but being very, very confused by the setting, the missing characters, the new characters, because they don't use Orko. They use that dwarf Gwildor.
Yeah.
Gwildor, is that what they call him?
Yes,
something like that.
Gwildor.
It was cheaper
Gwildor,
than making an
like
Orko, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, Orko flies and all that stuff. And they take it mostly into Earth. There's all kinds of stuff about the history of this. We'll get into that. But my initial reaction was very confusing. But I did like Skeletor. What were your initial reactions when you were a kid, Jelani?
Man, I love this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was like all I ever wanted from a movie. You know, because I was like, He-Man on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of those kids.
Yeah, you liked it.
So I saw it in the movie theater.
You know, I still...
And it was 1987.
Yeah, it was 87. I didn't see it in the theater,
like
but
second grade.
Even though I had some questions and I was confused, like, I still really did enjoy this movie.
It was good.
When I was a kid.
Brooks, it was really good.
What did you think about it as a kid?
Well, I remember when I saw it as a kid, I was still pretty young though, but like, it was like I remember I liked it, I guess, but it didn't stick in my memory, you know.
Okay.
Like I didn't remember a lot of it. Like I remember watching it, and you know, I don't think I was as impressed as a kid because I was used to like more over the top animated He-Man.
Yeah, right.
But on the rewatch, I enjoyed it.
And let's talk about that
hell of a lot
because it's now like 32 years or so later. We all rewatched it just a handful of days ago. Man, it's so much fun. I'm serious. It's so much fun. It's cheesy, stupid fun. It's the same way. In a good way.
Popcorn.
All those movies.
Action.
All those movies that we announced,
peppy.
like Super Mario Brothers, and I'll be honest with you, Demolition Man is actually a really good movie.
I like Demolition
and I think Mortal Kombat's actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
But Street Fighter, Mario Brothers, but Masters of the Universe.
I think if you watch them, without the pretext of what thing, what the thing is, I think you probably just enjoy them. So
on the rewatch, like obviously they made some changes, and that's all unraveled when you look up at the history of this movie because like Gary Goddard did this film, and Mattel had so many different opportunities and production companies and distribution companies that wanted to help finance and produce this film, but they went with Canon Films because Canon was like, we'll pay half of the cost, and Mattel's like, okay, and apparently Canon was like, you do the first half, and Mattel was dumb enough to be like, all right, here's the first half of the money. They very quickly ran out of money, and then Mattel's like, okay, pony up your money, and they're like, nah, and apparently they were like, we can put something on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it was completely under budget, especially for a huge toy line. Now, the toy line was starting its big decline.
Right.
It really, really was. And Canon Films was already in the midst of their decline.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles were on the rise.
But
90s,
Canon Films had done Superman Quest for Peace and Life Force, and it kind of was tanking that company. Yeah. They're doing Masters of the Universe on a shoestring budget for the type of production it is. So it's got all kinds of flaws and things. It's not a good film. It's not. But I love this film. It's so cheeseball fun. Dolph Lundgren
Dolph Lundgren
is just so terrible, I think, in this role. But he looks like He-Man, you know? And I like the...
I think he kind of is.
I like the cape, you know?
Yeah, the cape was cool. He-Man. That sword was sweet.
But to me, it's Frank Langella is the star of the movie. It's like watching Raul Julia in Street Fighters and Bison. It's like he knows exactly the type of movie this is going to be, and he's like, I'm just getting into it. So before we get into the performances, my reaction is that I loved rewatch now. I think this movie's great. Jelani, what'd you think about it?
Man,
on the rewatch?
It's a popcorn flick. Like, I don't know, like, it felt like from beginning to end,
it's a popcorn and some edibles flick, dude.
Yeah, dude. Worth it. It's such a good, feel-good movie. Like, you got Courtney Cox in it, and she's got, like, the loss of her parents.
Yeah.
So he's got, like, a sad side. Then you get the layers of the actual action in that movie. And it's well-paced. You notice there are not a whole bunch of boring speeches.
You know, when I was rewatching it, I was surprised. I thought that the majority of this film is on Earth, and it is. But I forgot how long we actually spend at Castle Grayskull at the beginning of that film.
That Castle Grayskull! Listen, if they blew the budget on Castle Grayskull, well done.
Oh, that was just a matte painting. But the set inside was dope,
That way was clean. All those statues, they actually put that stuff up. I like the way they showed.
Apparently, that's where they blew their budget.
Yeah,
like, seriously, they're like, we better take this to Earth quick. and I think another big part of their budget, seriously, is they destroyed all those musical instruments in that shop.
Yeah. Well, I thought the costumes in this movie were really good too. Like Beastman, all look good. Like all the.
If only he talked and actually had more to do.
Yeah.
The blade.
They really downplay all that stuff.
Yeah.
They really, really do. But you like this.
I love this movie, man. Like. It's a piece of my childhood nostalgia. Right? It's nostalgia, but it's kind of with a caveat. Because, like, if I watch that film now, I'd probably tear it to shreds.
Yeah.
The way I am now. But I remember this as a kid. I'm not saying that's nostalgia again. It's just that feeling.
Yeah.
You get. It's a well-paced action film. I like 80s action films. I love Lethal Weapon. You know, I love all that genre.
Yeah, it goes right through all that, man.
So I get it, and I like those kind of films, and it works out well.
Bruce, what'd you think about it on the rewatch?
Well, like I said, I liked it a hell of a lot more than I did when I was a kid, and I certainly remember a lot more of it. I liked one of my characters that really kind of like I just enjoyed a lot was Evil Lynn in this movie.
Oh yes, Meg Foster.
Yeah,
like her and Skeletor's kind of thing. It was like, you know, it was like I wasn't suggesting I go. Then why did you talk? And like when
they're kind of like the stars of the film.
Yeah.
And there's very little He-Man to me in this film.
Yeah, He-Man is actually
he's muted.
He's not in.
He-Man is a supporting character.
Yeah, but yeah, there's that one scene though where Evil Lynn is like, they come back to Skeletor and they're like, oh man, we're outnumbered. And then like she gets back and she like has the past viewfinder thing.
Yeah.
And, like, she's like, oh, all I see is He-Man.
I love how they have this technology.
More like outclassed.
There's some great lines for Skeletor. There's some
we are not talking about Skeletor.
There's some crazy technology in this film too. And the biggest thing to realize about this film, and one of the reasons why we really wanted to rewatch this, is that Goddard was basically trying to make a tribute to Jack Kirby in this film, including using a lot of elements from the New Gods. If you think that He-Man may be Orion, Man-at-Arms and Teela, as weird as it may sound, may be Mr. Miracle, and Big Barda, and Metron is Gildor, or whatever the wizard's name is. Yeah. Gwildor, with a G, Gwildor, Kildor, I do not like that character.
I can never remember.
Man, I like him the most.
Darkseid is Skeletor. Evil Lynn is Desaad.
That's true.
You get it. The Cosmic Key is the
Mother
Box. The Boom Tubes. It's a war amongst gods that spills to Earth. There's a lot of Kirbyisms in here. And in fact, Goddard wanted Kirby to design the film but the studios wouldn't have a go because at the time it wasn't cool to make a comic book movie. They wanted to make an 80s action film, and then told them that He-Man couldn't harm or kill anybody. So then they had to do this. It is totally a riff on Star Wars and Superman. The score, I think, is beautiful and cool, but the opening theme, the whole opening thing is straight up Superman ripoff.
Yeah.
Straight up, But let's talk about these characters. The first thing we really want to talk about here is Frank Langella as Skeletor. When I was a kid, I thought this role was badass. I think he looks cooler and scarier than the Filmation Skeletor.
Yeah.
Really, really kind of captured that. It captured something from the cartoon Skeletor, but it really added this whole depth. Frank Langella did this film because his kid was a big Masters of the Universe fan, and he just ate this role up. The makeup astounded me when I was a kid. It's got its flaws now. You can see him breathing. You can see it moving in and out as he's like really getting into the role. But he is amazing in this movie. He's got the best lines. He's got the best presence. He's got the best setup. He's got the best screen time. He's got the best sets to work with. Skeletor, so when he's coming down that main street in that tiny little town on that throne, oh my God!
Or when he fucking Shao Kahn's out.
Yes! Total Shao Kahn.
He knew who he was.
Tell me what you love about Frank Langella's performance as Skeletor.
The thing that I really like about this performance is like, it seems like when I watched it, it seemed to me like Skeletor's motivation was more impress He-Man. It's like he has everything he wants, but this is not enough. It's like He-Man has to see this. It's like I want He-Man to look me in the eye and tell me how badass I am.
We must break him. Yeah.
It's like that seems to be his whole arc. Is like, I've got to get He-Man to tell me I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
Like, admit it, He-Man, I'm cool.
Yes.
Look at my Shao Kahn armor, He-Man. Isn't that cool?
Look at this. It's gold now.
Not real.
My staff is gold now. He's got those cool tassels. I love those cool tassels that come down too. Yeah. And remember that this film starts with Skeletor winning. That's why they have to go to Earth. He wins.
It's like he finally got Castle Grayskull.
He wins. He took it.
He got the sorceress. She's
absolutely. What do you love so much about Frank Langella in this film?
This whole story. He is this story. It's called Masters of the Universe. It's not called He-Man and Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
And Skeletor is. I think he's the main character.
Yeah.
I think he's like Frank Langella in this film. Like that's how I knew his name. Because after that, like, Superman came up and he was Perry White, and I was like, wow, that's Frank Langella.
Yeah.
And I knew that because that was Skeletor.
I loved it, man.
He was so, like, impressive. He was cowardly, but at the same time, very powerful. And he just won.
So, and he's a shit talker.
And he talks a lot of it. And it's a performance of a lifetime. I wish somebody would like really give him. I'm sure he's won something of.
Oh yeah, didn't he win an Academy Award for Frost Nixon when he played Richard Nixon? So. He should have. That performance was brilliant. He also played Dracula in the very romantic Universal picture Dracula from 1970 something. You never seen that one? Mm-mm. I got it right over there. I'm a big.
That's awesome,
I'm a big Dracula nut. Anyway, so. Frank Langella still stated until towards the end of his life even that because he did die a couple years ago, right? I'm not mistaken. Okay, just making sure I'm thinking of the right person.
You never know, man. You might have been Mandela effect into an alternate.
Yes, absolutely. Right?
Where he's alive.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but he always stated this was one of his favorite roles he ever played.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren.
He's having a blast.
Yeah, but Dolph Lundgren, on the other hand, did not have much fun making this movie and looks back on it very disfondly. Is that a word? Yeah, disfondly?
I don't
know. He's apparently Goddard wanted someone else, but the movie came with him attached. The only thing he had really done was Rocky IV. Amazing performance, but he didn't have to do too much in that film. They were really worried that he could carry this film.
It was more of a physical performance than it was.
It was physical because he had no charisma.
Though he did have that great line that inspired Bane.
I will break you. Except he said, I must break you.
I must break you. I think that's even better than I will break you. Because it's like, I will break you, like, I'll break you because that's what I do.
There's nothing I can do, bro. I must break you.
There's something inside.
sorry, bro. I can't do anything, but I must break you.
I must break you. Anyway, so not to downplay any of his performances since, because I thought he was actually really good in the Aquaman film.
Yeah, he was good in Aquaman.
Yeah, he's great in those.
I like the Universal Soldier.
Universal Soldier, yeah, he's in that
he's
one.
He's a Mensa candidate.
But
he's actually Mensa.
But this is early, Dolph.
Yeah,
and the performance is not quite there. It's not, and that's the thing is people want to talk about how you can't understand him, and he's just there to look pretty and be oiled up, and whoever was paid to oil him up, I hope they were paid a lot of money or not, because what a job. What a job! Oiling up Dolph Lundgren's He-Man chest. He's as shiny as a he's as shiny as a pristine. He's as shiny as the toy. As a pristine toy, yeah. One of those pristine matches. They're so shiny. They really nailed that. And I love the idea that he's got that cape.
Yeah,
that
man.
cape really is something really cool special.
Like the opening scene where like his back rolling and you see the cape. And
I really think they only did the cape so that they didn't have Dolph's ass in front of like every child in America. You know, I really think that. But dude, I really like the costume design for Skeletor and He-Man. Lundgren's performance, but it's still early, Dolph. But what do you think about He-Man in this film?
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
But he's not even a main.
But he's not a main character in the movie. He lacks the charisma of being He-Man. You know what I'm saying? When you see the cartoon, you know he's like jokey and he's jovial. But he's strong and he's like whatever.
They have those moments in here, but they don't work.
It's just like he's not. He doesn't feel genuine in that role, and it's not. It makes me feel bad because like He-Man was a big star.
Yeah, you should want to be on He-Man's side, but I feel like I'm more on Skeletor's side.
Yeah, I'm a little more on Skeletor, and I was like, I'm glad he got his power.
What do you think about Lundgren in this film?
I thought he did good.
Yeah.
It was a minimal role, but he hit all of the, he hit most of the He-Man bases, He hears somebody in help, so he goes to help them. Like, he can beat the crap out of, like, a bunch of minions at the same time.
He's super strong.
He's good, like, he talks to her, he's, like, very calming, he's like,
I
need your help.
Yeah, I like that he uses a gun.
Yeah, he
uses a blaster and all that stuff, because that's all, like, He-Man's a sci-fi fantasy.
Right. Yeah, he gives her the blaster.
And you're right, that like the way that he kind of protects the Courtney Cox character, it does. That's probably the best bit.
Yeah.
And the moment he pulls that sword at the end, I have the power!
And the lightning
strikes. It was great. If only he had a battle cat.
And like, there's no Prince Adam in this movie, man.
And no battle cat.
Yeah.
As much as there's a lot of characters that could be in this film.
Yep.
Randor.
His dad.
Yeah. A lot. His mom.
Apparently,
in the early versions of the script, when there was more,
the sorceress didn't get to do much of anything either.
Yeah, she's just
captured the whole time.
Yeah, she was, but at least I liked her costume.
Yeah. I thought Man-at-Arms costume actually looked
Man-at-Arms was fine, and Man-at-Arms Attila apparently Goddard cast all these other Meg Foster and Frank Langella, and I can't remember their names, but whoever played Tila and Man-at-Arms, he cast more seasoned veteran actors to surround Dolph in his performance, right? And I do think it works. Like Man-at-Arms costume, the colors may not be there, but it looks just like Man-at-Arms. Tila's got the little tiara thing a little bit in a weird.
But I think she should have the Ram staff. She needs a Ram.
She looks just straight up like you're about to watch a fitness video from 1987.
Silver jumpsuit with some armor bits.
A little weird. Evil Lynn's costume's pretty dope too.
Yeah.
I really do like that. Yeah. I think her eyes, and those are her natural eyes. And they're so creepy. Creepy. But we also got to talk about Gildor. Do you like him at all?
I thought he was, as far as annoying sidekick characters like that go, he wasn't too bad.
I'd rather have Jar Jar Binks in this film.
Oh no.
Really?
Yes.
No, man.
Yes. Misa would rather have Jar Jar Binks in this film.
Was great.
Now, when I was a kid, I thought this character was charming and endearing.
He has both. I like the bit where
he's not.
Gets the chicken bucket with the grappling, or no, the rib bucket.
That's okay.
And another part that was really cool is when Tila's eating the food, she's like, well, I wonder why they put him on these white sticks. And I was like, I think that's a bone. She's like, this is an animal.
Yeah. Do you like the idea of how they're like, this is so barbaric? So apparently, but Eternia has
there's a little Eternia world building in there.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit, like the smallest bit you get there.
Tiny bit.
Really fun stuff. So Courtney Cox is in this film.
She's adorable, I think.
It's her first film role.
I like that blue jean jacket she's got.
Yeah.
I like that jean jacket.
Yeah.
It really works for me. Who I really think is adorable in this film is Robert Duncan Macneil. who played Lieutenant Paris in Star Trek Voyager. And I love how when he sees the cosmic key, he's like, this is a synthesizer, it's from Japan.
Yeah.
And they're all looking at
Charlie.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that's Lieutenant Paris, and that's Monica from Friends. Two of the 90s greatest television stars, in my opinion. What do you think about the Earthers? What do you think about them?
I thought they both did really good. You know,
their love story got a little cheesy. I mean,
yeah,
they made it so heavy at first. Her parents died. She's trying to leave. They still love each other. She wants to go away. He's like, come on, come to my sound.
Like,
my sound.
Everybody's trying to convince her to stay.
And he's a synthesizer player in the 87. So, like, that really kind of inspired. Like, I always wanted to be a synthesizer player in 1987. That's my life purpose.
Another thing is, like, you know, as far as that goes, her leaving, her decision to leave, I think a lot of it had to do, you know, she said that she blew off her parents because she was going to hang out with him.
Yeah, and so they get on this plane.
So, like, from her opinion, like, she can never really, like, you know, she'll always have that in the back of her head. Like,
no, she won't, because they fix it all at the end.
Yeah, it was kind of his fault.
That's the one I don't like, that they fix all
that.
I like the
It was very, like, you know,
it's
we
a
gotta
happy
keep
ending.
the kids from being sad.
Yeah,
ending.
Right.
I heard you did.
What do you think about the Earthers in this film?
I love them. Man, okay, I love the love story. I love that they put that in the middle of all this action.
Okay.
And it looks like it was just a good mellow flow through the movie. I like Courtney Cox. I like Tom Paris. So, I mean, hey.
Monica and Tom.
Praise we're heaping on the Masters of the Universe.
This is a better review than we gave, like, Ant-Man and Doctor Strange and Age of Ultron.
These are the gripes I have. In this town, this, like, humongous battle has gone down. Like, Charlie's record store was destroyed.
Yeah, this fucking detective guy, man.
That's the other thing. Let's talk about James Tolkien, because that's the the principal from Back to the Future. And since He-Man couldn't shoot and kill people, he could.
Okay, I'm a big bad cop.
I love him in this movie for some reason,
and
man.
His whole ending, like, I'm just gonna stay here in eternity. It's awesome here. Look, I got a woman.
I got
good food.
Ass clean.
Badass cop.
I'm gonna go back to my crappy cop job. Come on.
In this tiny ass shit town in America. Whatever it is.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I love him in this film, don't you?
He is amazing.
I remember being a kid and telling everybody he should play Professor X, because he was literally, him and Kojak were like, Kojak?
Yeah, Kojak.
Were the only bald actors I knew at the time, apparently. But no, it's so cheesy. But you got it. Hats off. That's why none of us are wearing hats tonight, because of James Tolkien.
They need to make a He-Man figure
how
of
close
him.
his name is. Like he's a distant relative to J.R.R. Tolkien or something like that. I don't know.
Fifth cousin or something.
Fifth cousin, something like that. Real quick though, before we move on, let's talk about the henchman. Beastman is in the film.
Yeah.
And I didn't even remember this until a few years ago, because his part is so small. And Beastman is that's like henchman number one outside of Evil Lynn, pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
And he just he's like Sabretooth in that first X-Men film.
Yeah, he is.
That's all I am.
Yeah, he does.
Karg is the one with all the... Karg is the one with all the...
The big hair and
he's got the big hair. He's got the most lines. They got Blade.
Blade does a lot. Actually.
Not as good as the Wesley Snipes Blade, but decent. And Sauron is the snake dude.
Yeah, he got killed.
Apparently, they may have run out of some of their budget when they were making the mask, so they just put that other mask on top of him. He gets killed pretty quickly. Yeah. They did do action figures back in the day for Gwildor, Gildor, the Wizard Door.
Disrespect Gwildor, man.
This would you pick one.
Gilbor, and Snake, or not Snake, but Blade and the Snake Dude. They did action figures for them. They're doing new action figures. Have you seen those yet? Dude, aren't they not badass?
They're
They're doing He-Man, Skeletor, both versions, and Karg.
Yeah.
How awesome were those henchmen, though? I thought they looked cool.
Yeah, I like
but
them.
don't you wish you why? If you're going through all this makeup, why not do Beastman fully? Why not do what are the rest of Triclops? Why not do
the guy with the jaw?
Because they didn't let him
Trapjaw.
Yeah.
Well, Trapjaw was apparently going to be in the sequel. In the sequel, they had planned out Masters of the Universe 2, Cyborg. Canon Films already had all this production design work done and costume design work done, and they were ready to go, but they refused to pay up Mattel. No surprise there, right?
Yeah.
And both companies were kind of like, well, Mattel wasn't dying by any means, but the He-Man line was.
What? Mattel? What's that? They still make toys?
Well, not anymore, really.
Yeah,
they kind of moved it over to Hasbro.
Done.
Hasbro bought Mattel, right? Because they did the Matty Collector thing for a while. I think Hasbro owns the rights now to... Maybe they don't.
I think Mattel owns Mattel.
Is Mattel still Mattel?
Mattel's still Mattel.
Y'all let us know, because we can't remember right now. But they were all gung-ho for the sequel. Mattel didn't approve it because they wouldn't throw any money and paid for the licensing. So they took all their designs and ideas and concepts, and they made Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And we think that's amazing.
I love that movie,
we love Cyborg. And I love this world! Anyway.
I've never seen Cyborg.
What could have been? What could have been? Maybe we're going to put that in
cheese,
as a choice on the next poll. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was the sequel talk. What do you think about the Henchmen? Did you like them?
Yeah.
You like Blade, I know.
I like Blade a lot because it's just dude with sword. The second he sees He-Man, he wants to fight He-Man. He's like, I've been waiting for this.
Like, there are more dangerous things out tonight than vampires.
Yeah.
Like He-Man.
Man, he was going after him hard, and I liked those characters, man. I liked all the villains. I love Blade. I liked the snake guy. What was the snake guy's name again? Saurod. I liked him a lot. They didn't give him any time.
Cool. Yeah, he
had those dark fingers.
You go in that first mission, and he's the first one killed.
Yep. Yeah, Skeletor vaporized.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And what about Skeletor's fucking poison lightning that he hits Courtney Cox with?
Yeah. Oh, man, that lady looked bad.
Some kind of weird materia combination on his staff or something like added effect poison.
Yeah, it's weird.
So my lightning poisons you now. Like, damn, Skeletor. You don't think lightning's good enough? You gotta add poison to it?
That's how you one up. That's how you one up.
He-Man, check out my staff. It poisons you with lightning.
That's how you one up Palpatine, man.
That's how you do it.
Because they were like
Palpatine's
this is gonna
be poison you.
They're gonna be like this is gonna be Star Wars for the '80s, and I'm like, no, that was Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I was on me. Like, you guys didn't nail it, but
the Star Wars thing was a fad.
This movie lost.
On that.
What was the budget of this film?
Oh, we gotta find out.
Yeah, so I'm sure that this movie lost money.
Yeah, I'm sure it did too.
I'm sure. I thought you had it pulled up, John.
I did. I had it pulled up a second ago.
And then we go on for 30 minutes about the movie. Yeah, here we go.
All right. The budget was... Oh, really?
Man.
I got to sign into Wi-Fi.
All right. Budget was $22 million.
And it made $17.3 million.
Yeah. I know. It's made that money back since in DVD sales, I'm sure.
Probably.
But now you can watch this movie for free on YouTube. You can watch it, I think, on Hulu still. We watched it on... We don't have it here, but I still had the DVD copy. Yeah. Remember how Warner Brothers had... It's one of those cardboard DVDs, yeah.
A little plastic flap.
I really enjoyed watching this, and I really, really enjoyed revisiting it. When it came out, it opened up third the weekend that it came out in August of 1987, right behind Stakeout and The Living Daylights. So first of all, don't go up against a James Bond film, even if the James Bond film's not in its first week. Mm-hmm. But apparently, you can't mess with Richard Dreyfuss, Emilio Estevez, and Rosie O'Donnell. Was that not the cast of Stakeout?
That was Stakeout.
Yeah, I loved Stakeout when I was a kid, and I actually think I like.
And I watched that too. Yeah.
But I think The Living Daylights.
It's a Bond film.
That's the one with the cello player.
Yeah.
That one's really good.
That's Timothy Dalton's first one. Yeah. It was good.
I think Living Daylights is a better film out of those three. What do you think?
Wasn't she the Russian cellist?
The Russian cellist or
something. I haven't seen either of those other movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we should put them on for the next poll.
I know
like just movies that I've never seen.
Yeah, the only thing Brooks ever saw from 1987 was Masters of the Universe, The Lost Boys, and Pound Puppies. Anyway,
I don't know if I have seen Pound Puppies.
So even though this is a retro review, we're still gonna you dig it.
Okay.
And remember, before we do the you digging, remember that we can rate it higher than we would have back in the day, or the way that we would rate a film of its caliber today. But we have to understand the nostalgia and the cheese factor involved, and maybe adjust accordingly. So, Jelani, what do you, out of 5 possible you digs, what do you rate in 2019 Masters of the Universe?
Man, okay, as an adult, I've realized that I don't need to rate films about children's toys, but this toy line was so awesome for me.
Mm-hmm.
And like watching the cartoon, you watch it, and this feels like a continuation of the cartoon that's happening where he's won.
Like in the way that like Transformers when they killed Optimus Prime,
right.
and it was
that
deal.
feeling.
Yeah.
So you get that feeling, and you go into watch this movie, and I'm like, oh my god, it's He-Man on film, and it's that good.
What was the Merman's dude's name?
The Merman.
Merman.
Who's Merman?
Use Merman. You know, why couldn't they use Merman?
Why couldn't they use half of the things they want to do? Oh, those have been cool.
Stinkor was one of my favorite
Battle
figures
Cat.
when I was a kid. Yeah, no Battle Cat is still our biggest thing.
Battle Cat's my favorite
what do you
thing,
get?
but I did all that to say this.
Yes. I'm sorry.
In my rating, the reason I'm saying the rating I'm giving it.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna give it 5.
5, you digs? You gave it a perfect score? You gave it the same rating as Black Panther and Infinity War?
I love that movie. I'm sorry, I had to give you the long explanation to tell you why it's 5. Yep.
Wow, 5 you digs. 5 you digs to Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe.
Wow.
You're welcome.
That's astounding to me.
I love
rock
that
on.
movie, man. I could watch that. See,
wow.
Once again, it's about watchability.
No, rock on.
If I can watch it
over and over
again,
yeah.
I can watch it right now. I can watch it tomorrow. I can watch it whenever.
Brooks, out of 5 possible you digs, what do you rate in 2019 Masters of the Universe?
I'd give it 4.
4.
Yeah, I think it's it's not one of the best, but it's up there close. I think. It's one of my favorites, I think.
Well, this is what's crazy. I really feel like if we were this age in 1987 and YouTube was a thing, you guys wouldn't have given it that score.
Probably not.
Okay.
But things are the way they are.
I'm gonna go.
It's terrible. But
I'm gonna go.
It's good.
3. 3. Because to be honest, this is a 2-star movie. This is a 2 you dig movie.
This is probably 2.
But I'm moving it up because it aged a little bit well. And it's Frank Langella. So I'm giving it 3, which to me is a very decent score for something like Master of the Universe. These guys. So we got 3, 4, 5. 4 an average of 4. Which means Brooks was right. Brooks, you have the right answer.
Brooks is the right answer.
Apparently 4 you digs is the right answer for Masters of the Universe. What do you rate Masters of the Universe? How many you digs out of 5 do you give it? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this video and for joining in participation, helping us pick what video to do. We had so much fun doing it. We'll do another audience poll pick very soon. You can find that very soon over at the PCP Army. In fact, let's just get this going in the next couple weeks or something. Let's add Cyborg or something. Let's just come up with another cool stuff. We'll throw in some of the other ones too.
I love watching these films again.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's good.
So we'll do another one. Join us over at the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group, PCP Army. That's where you'll see the poll and you'll be able to vote and join in on the conversation. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Like I said, let us know how many you digs you give it out of 5 in the comments down below. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani Bullard.
This is
Brooks.
Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And be sure to join us at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. You dig?